Welcome, Rickie, Fray, co-chairman, Heritage Hills Home Tour, and Renate, Wiggin, home owner on the home tour, to Parties Extra. I'm Helen Wallace, and we are at the Oklahoman's video studio in downtown Oklahoma City. It's fall and time for the Heritage Hills Historic Neighborhood Tour. Well, what a beautiful time you have to be having it.
Thanks so much for having us.
Well, tell us about the tour.
We have 5 homes featured on the tour this year, and in addition to that, we opened the Oklahoman Mansion.
Oh my gosh, that's great. What day?
The tour runs October 13th and 14th from 12 to 5, both days. You can purchase your tickets, and they're good for both days. If you want to see 2 homes one day and 3 homes the next, and get in the Oklahoman Mansion during that time, it's all weekend long. You can do it at your leisure.
And so we're just going to tour these beautiful homes and hear some history. And you have one of the homes, Renate. Tell us about that.
Well, our home was built by John A. Brown.
Oh, really?
I call it his starter house. But it's an interesting story. He had purchased the lot, and it's a corner lot on 18th and Harvey. And they hadn't quite figured out what to build there. And a friend of theirs who lived in Holmby Hills, which is a small part of Los Angeles right next to Hollywood. And they came and admired the house, and they were so taken by it. They said, "Do you mind if we hire your architect?" And they said, "No problem. You know, it's 1,500 miles away. Nobody's going to see it." Well, that architect made the exact copy
of this house.
Of their house. And it's a very interesting house. It has beautiful architectural details, lots of arches. It's a brick on the first floor, and I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It's half timbered on the second floor. Yeah, lots of windows, which is what intrigued us about the house, because Oklahoma has the blue sky most of the time, and we want it in the house. We don't have curtains.
Oh, you don't?
No.
So, and that neighborhood, I mean, if you look out, I mean, it's beautiful to see the neighborhood.
It is.
It's beautiful.
And it's because we moved here 40 years ago from Boston, and we saw some houses that were new north of Quail Creek, and the trees were this tall. And I said, I can't live here. And though 40 years ago, Heritage Hills was not the sought after neighborhood.
Well, it's sure beautiful. I tell you, I don't know why it wouldn't be sought after all the time. Who are the other homeowners on this tour?
We have Autumn and Rob Abernathy. Their home is an Italianate villa style, and it's at 431 Northwest 17th. Janelle and James Bozart, and their home is a prairie style in that Frank Lloyd Wright look, and it's at 215 Northwest 20th. Maureen and James Watson live in a modified English Tudor at 322 Northwest 15th, and they've just done a lot of extensive remodeling, and their house is actually on a double lot, and they've just put in an amazing pool, done a lot of yard work, so it's going to be a fun house to see. And then Renate and Chuck Wiggin, of course, on 301 Northwest 18th, and you guys are called a modified English Tudor, aren't you? Is that your style?
I guess.
And then finally we have
Hollywood style, you know.
They're from Hollywood. Kathy and John Michael Williams are at 710 Northwest 14th, and they have a colonial revival.
Well, that's wonderful. So when we come to your house, will you be there to greet us?
Yes, but probably not for all of the time, because I want to see the other houses. But we have a tour host who makes sure that there's a shift change, because nobody wants to work 5 hours because you have to stand. And so she is there, and we have ticket table in front of every house. And I think most of the homeowners have some, I call it cheat sheets, to tell you something specific about each room.
Oh, that's kind of
It's
nice.
really nice.
Yeah.
Volunteers in each room that tell you like little tidbits of history about the home and things that may have happened in the home.
You have a lot of volunteers?
We have a lot of volunteers.
we
The
have-
whole neighborhood comes together for this event every year.
They do.
The people who come forward, not only offering their homes for tour, which is a huge sacrifice and it takes an amazing amount of time, but these volunteers give up their whole weekend. They learn about the house, the architecture, and it's like Christmas in our neighborhood.
You
this
said
time
that.
of year.
You said it was like Christmas.
It gives me goosebumps.
That it means a lot. It just means a lot.
Yeah,
And the history means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the neighbors, they know it's coming, even though, you know, they're just 5 houses. But they all make sure the yard is clean, they've weeded.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's really a
you know,
neighborhood
it's
effort.
it's a show and tell, really.
Well, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
neighborhood. So where do we park?
Parking is best on the northwest corner of 15th and Robinson, and that's the St. Luke's Methodist Church parking lot. That's going to be available all day Saturday. The church has actually asked us to maybe not park in that lot until 12:30 on Sunday because
Yeah.
then
I
their
can understand
services will
that.
be gone.
Right.
But there'll also be a trolley stop right at that parking lot, so people can park there, jump right on the trolley, and
And
head
tell
on
us
over
about
to
that
the tour.
trolley. That sounds like a great time.
The trolley is such a great addition to the tour.
I know, I need to do it again.
And
I
we
haven't
it's
listened to
stopping
Karen.
at each house this year. Sometimes it'll stop a block away and people will have to walk, but this year it actually stops in front of each home and the Oberholzer mansion. But the neat thing about the trolley is the narrator we have.
Oh.
And she knows, her name's Karen Napier. She knows so many fun facts about
Oh,
the
yeah.
neighborhood and enjoys just sharing all of that information with everybody. It's fun.
So you can ride the trolley or you can do a walking tour.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
They're really not that far apart. You know, Heritage Hills is sort of stretched out because it goes all the way to Classen Boulevard. It's a cul-de-sac. But we sometimes have, and then you really need the trolley. That's a long walk for a lot of people. But this is pretty compact.
This year, the houses are pretty compact. There's one that's kind of off to the side, but even if you walked over there, it's not that long of a walk.
And do you have a co-chairman?
Yes, I do. Her name is Mary Kay Gummerlock, and she's just been a joy to work with. We really have had a great time together.
Well, so tell us again where you get tickets. You can get them at the door.
You can get them
At each house?
Each house.
Each house, they'll be available. Now, there are discount tickets available for $15 a piece on our website. And you can go to heritagehills.com, and that will take you, there's a link then to go to the home tour site. Those ticket sales for the discount tickets will stop Saturday at midnight. And then on Friday at midnight.
Yeah.
And then Saturday and Sunday, the days of the tour, the tickets go up to $20.
And what do you all do with the money that you raise?
Well, historically, funds from the tour have gone for restoration, preservation, maintenance of some of our historical sites and landmarks. In addition, Wilson School is a big beneficiary of our home tour. We really believe in having a strong school in the neighborhood, builds strong community, and it brings younger families into the neighborhood as well.
They now want a house in the area that serves Wilson School.
Well, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay, so one other thing that you all have some other highlights of the tour. You have some music.
We have guitar students from OCU, and they will be kind of going from porch to porch at each of the homes, or some of them will play actually inside the home. And then we have, they'll be playing on the lawn of the Oberholzer as well.
And you have food trucks?
Food trucks both days, Saturday and Sunday.
And then, so what's going to be going on at the Oberholzer Mansion?
Basically just the food trucks and the music.
I mean, but
you
you
can
go
go in.
inside?
Oh,
You
yes,
go
you can go
inside.
inside the mansion.
Your ticket gets you there too. Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful place to tour.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful,
So we
beautiful
just have to hope for no rain.
No rain. We don't want any rain.
No.
So, and then one other thing we didn't talk about is our twilight evening. So tell us all about that. That sounds like the best time ever.
Yes.
It really has.
is,
We've
yeah.
tried something new this year.
Yeah.
It's usually on the lawn of the Overholser, or it has been for the past
And it's
few years.
the day before?
It's
not
Friday night.
The night.
Friday night,
Friday
okay.
night.
The homeowners open up their homes to people who have purchased a twilight dinner ticket.
Right.
And they get to see the homes in the evening in the twilight. Then you go over to the Hales Mansion, is what it used to be called,
Right.
but it's recently been purchased by Dr. Beal and his wife Sandy. And they've offered it to the neighborhood so that we could use it for our twilight dinner. It's got a special theme this year. It's Moroccan. There may be some belly dancers involved.
Oh my God.
And Hattie Santori is going to be doing her vaudeville show.
Oh my.
Yes.
So it's going to be
Who is-
fun.
Hattie Santori.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a Moroccan buffet. It's just going to be fabulous.
Oh
So.
my gosh.
Oh yeah.
So you all be celebrating in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Then you have a cookbook,
We
Yes.
do.
and so that's going to be on sale.
It will be on sale. The cookbook has a nice theme to it. I think it's bringing the neighborhood together through cooking.
Oh, good.
And the neighborhood ladies came together because our neighborhood is quite focused on getting together. We have
Yes.
a lot of parties and
Oh,
get-togethers.
do you?
and,
What other parties do you have?
Well, we have an Easter party, Christmas, a holiday party,
Yeah.
and
We
July,
have
4th of
children's.
July
Yeah.
party.
An Easter egg hunt
Uh-huh.
for the kids,
Yes.
and we have Santa Claus
Uh-huh.
at Christmas, because the kids cannot go to the big guys' party.
So you have the children.
And then
Yeah.
there's always a block party going on or some
Yeah.
big get-together. It's just an open, welcome, really endearing community.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And so, I mean, and you've been doing this particular tour for how many years?
52.
52 years. Can you believe that?
Well,
that
you know,
something?
it was right after we are too young to have been involved, but what started the historic preservation is when the Colcord Mansion was torn down, which was a fabulous mansion on 13th Street. And the people had said, no, we're not going to do anything to it. We're just going to rent it. And then they came with the big ball.
Oh, gosh.
And then people said, okay, enough is enough. And luckily there was a mayor who was very much in favor of it.
Preserving the whole
of
neighborhood.
preserving The neighborhood, right.
Well, that's
And
wonderful.
that was amazing. And just to go back a little, and the reason why we are a party neighborhood is really because in the old days when you could not communicate with anybody because we had a calling tree. Do you remember those days?
No, I don't remember the calling tree.
Well,
That sounds
to-
cool.
well, we didn't have iPhones and we
Right.
didn't want to call. So there's calling one person, it's in charge, and then she calls 3 people, and the 3 people will always call 3 people, and so that they all come and go to a party. But also, we had to protect the neighborhood. We were at city council a lot
Oh,
because they really didn't appreciate the historic preservation yet. And we had to say, no, you cannot do this. This is historic preservation. And it worked.
It worked. So how long have you lived in your house?
25 years.
Oh, my.
And I lived for 15 years in a house 2 blocks south.
You have never left the neighborhood.
No, it's the trees.
Oh, and it's interesting. A house will sell in the neighborhood, and more often than not, it'll be a family that's already lived in the neighborhood. They're just moving into a different
They
house.
added children.
Oh, my gosh. So, and you live in the neighborhood, too?
I live right next door to
Right
this
next-
lovely
Oh,
lady.
you're our
We're
next door
neighbors.
neighbor.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
we are, and I couldn't be happier.
I couldn't either.
Oh, my gosh. You all, that's fabulous.
And we've
Yeah.
been there 4.5 years. So we're newcomers, basically, but we love it.
You jumped right in. Okay, anything else about the tour that you want people to know?
I think we about covered it.
Yeah, I
The
think so,
website, got
too.
the website, and
Yeah.
tickets.
And we want everybody to come. And how many people do you usually have come?
Oh, it depends on the weather.
It depends, but I know the year we were on tour 3 years ago, we had 1,800 people come through the house. So I think it's generally 1,800 to 2,000.
Well, it's lovely of you to open your home for that.
Thank you.
It really is. And
Well,
all of
it's
these
for
people.
a good cause. It really is. And you know, the city doesn't have enough money to do the medians that we have on Robinson.
Yes.
And the same thing with Harn Park. There are some medians, and we do the mowing and plant the flowers.
The pansies? Are the pansies in?
Well, I don't know whether they are on the big medians, no. But we take care of them. We trim the trees. I mean, the city doesn't do that. We have,
That's a lot of maintenance.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it is.
A lot of maintenance
yeah.
for parks and medians.
But it makes a big difference.
Oh,
you
yes,
all.
it does.
Makes a
Right.
huge difference. Well,
Yeah.
that's so great. Well,
well, thank you, Helen.
thank you for telling us about this outstanding event. The homes for viewing are so magnificent and so historic. It's wonderful of you all to share your neighborhood with the city. Have a wonderful weekend and have lots of fun, you all.
Thanks, Helen.
Thanks very much, Helen.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.